Viewers, Tigist Geme now joins me to tell us more about her takeaway from the South by Southwest Festival. Welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me.
A great story there. Now, first, Osei says quite a number of things, but did she kind of appear to have just come there to talk about business? She leads Africa, or did she also attend other Africa kind of related events?
Right, she did attend a lot of events because South by Southwest is an annual traditional event in Austin, Texas, and it runs for 9 days every year. And it's been around for 30 years, but this year for the first time there is an event exclusively focusing on Africa. It's called African House for a couple of days. And then on that Africa House, she was one of the speakers, and her speech was about future is female in Africa and generally. So she's like, she works a lot on empowering young women and mentoring. So she spoke about that over the weekend, but weekdays also. One day there was 3 events focused on Africa back to back. And from that she kind of led the panel, opened the panel, and just led the conversation on networking, how to fund the next wave of African unicorns, techies in Africa.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, first, she said she was actually working comfortably, then she decided to get into this kind of entrepreneurship because she saw there was a need somewhere. In all the conversations you had, did you get the sense that perhaps the best motivation and perhaps the greatest way to get into this is to think about finding a solution to a problem rather than being driven by trying to make money?
Yes, I think not just AFWA, but most of the young Africans who were part of those events that happened in Austin, they talk passionately about solving the problems in Africa, but then, you know, in that process to use your innovation, to use your small business ideas or even big ideas, not just to help yourself also, but solve the problems, because most of them were tricked by, like you said, about problems they see on daily life, like people selling vegetables not having access to order their materials over the phone or online, for example. And they all focus on solving those problems, use technology, not just copy-pasting what is already made, use that and modify it towards what problem they deal with daily life in different countries over the continent. And then, of course, they say make money. Yeah,
of course, there has to be some money made. Now, very briefly, what would you say was the major takeaway for most of those who attended the South by Southwest, especially Africans?
Yeah, I think the major takeaway was networking. They all talk about not just Africans who came to attend the event, but the diaspora, African diaspora who lives here but want to go do something on the continent. And also others who have interest to invest in Africa or do any kind of business or any education, whatever, in Africa. They all were asking on the events, how do we network? How do we make friends? How do we approach government? So the main takeaway was what AFWA and also like the ones who are already successful in Africa, they were saying start. The main takeaway is come to the continent, make friends, approach the government who personnels who can understand what you want. That's how you start. But they really talk about networking is the key.
Expand your contacts and network. Thank you very much, Tigist, for doing this piece and coming on the set to talk about
Thanks
it
for having me.
It's a pleasure. Well, that's Tigist Geme, who is a reporter with viewers Afan Oromo.